Well, so I did it. I just broke down and bought another tube amp. I made the mistake of going into Guitar Center. They got any new tone masters to try, or digital amps, or anything else small and light? And happened to glance by the used section, and I've been kind of researching Fenders style amps, deluxe reverbs, super reverbs, things like that. I think I might want to try one. I have never tried one in my whole life. I plugged this thing in. I brought in my guitar. I always do that. I guess I did mean to go in there and try some stuff subconsciously. Anyways, so I went in and plugged in. And this is just a reissue. 65. This is a 2020 made model, and it's this 65 Deluxe Reverb Blackface, as they call it, reissue. And even though it's just a reissue, it was amazing. I plugged it right in. Kind of the store just fell silent and everyone left, and it was me and the amp, which is a rare occasion in Guitar Center, and it was as if this light came down and God said, no, just kidding. No, and it was just, hey, there's nothing that compares to a real feel of a real tube amp, real speakers hitting you, and when you crank up that gain, you get this compression, and you get a little bit of that grit, that edge of breakup, and it sparkles. And there's a reason why this is the most popular amp of all time, I would say, of the small combos. That's my sort of personal opinion. But also, it's the most recorded, is the overall opinion of most guitar amp owners through the history, that the Deluxe Reverb amp is the most recorded amp from the 60s. Most used, from Beatles to, 90s rock to just anything with a guitar. And for that matter, the more I was looking into the modeling amps, the more it was like, you can have a Deluxe Reverb sound, or a Vox sound, or a Marshall sound, or, there's these patterns that guitar players, you know what I'm talking about, that you notice through the years, that things are trying to sound like the old amps. So I'm just going to play through some settings on the Strat and the Les Paul. And I couldn't help it. I've got to stick with the real tube amp. It's not too heavy. I really like the vibrato channel. The normal channel's okay. It's a bit harsh, but for some reason the vibrato channel is different. I don't understand Fender amps. This is my first one. So maybe you've got some suggestions, or maybe mods or things that you've done. You can leave that in the comments. Or maybe other things I should try with it. I do like my Boss amp, and it models other classic amps, so might use it as a lead tone. But I do 2 amps, switching and looping, so I have to have 2 of those 2 amps that are going to complement each other. So maybe you have some suggestions on that, or maybe a type of sound that the other one might complement. Well, that's enough. Let's just hear what it sounds like again. But through this, I do like it. Here's the bridge. Anyways, so I love it. Let's hear some reverb on there. This little old foot switch style there, that's cool. Reverb's a little crazy. I'm not really used to having this much spring reverb on an amp, but here goes. I got it kind of low. It's a bit much, but it's definitely fun. I don't know that I'd use it all the time. It sounds beautiful. There's a reason why the amp modelings are modeled after this one. And this is just a reissue for that matter. I suppose I could go down the rabbit hole of trying to find old ones. I love me some vintage amps, that's for sure. There we go. But I suppose you run the risk of, you know, having to fix them up, repair them, that kind of stuff. So I'm a bit afraid to do that. But this used was a pretty good investment. I found a great deal on it. Used. Sorry about that. Used. If you can find it used, it's pretty good deal. But they hold their value. So yeah, you just gotta look. Maybe find someone who's willing to get rid of theirs. Much hotter, but it definitely has that warm bluesy tone. I used it with slide. It did a great job. It was so good. It's not tremolo, but it's vibrato. It's a little funky. I don't like it as much as my Flint pedal, but maybe you guys have suggestions on ways to use it, or maybe you have mods out there. Maybe there's, I don't know, different things you can do, or maybe it's different than some of the other Fender amps. I don't know. I've never really used vibrato that sounded like this. It's supposed to be like a tremolo, but I'm used to my Flint's tremolo, and it sounds really great. I like the way that sounds, but... Anyways, there you have it, my new Deluxe Reverb. Let me know what you think in the comments and whatnot. I probably will keep it. So thanks for watching, and thanks for all of your support. It's shaking the walls.